Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at that storm we talked about yesterday, but we have a lot of updated information to go over in today's video. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, when do you think our next major storm or our next severe weather event is going to be after this one? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're just taking a look here at our precipitation and basically our simulated radar here from the European model. And this is going to be as of very early this morning, likely way before you're watching this video, maybe around 2 or 3 a.m. here on Wednesday, July 14th. And as you can see, we have some precipitation going on for the northeast and then also some up there for the north central United States. But overall, it's a pretty dry look for the United States. We have some storminess around, but yeah, it's not very widespread by any means by this point. Although by the time we're reaching maybe mid-morning, this will be about 11 a.m. This might be more around when you're watching this video. We can see that there is more precipitation spreading around the northeastern United States and then also the north central United States, where we're going to have a big severe weather threat throughout the day today. Stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking all about that in just a little bit. Even the northeast does have a risk. But definitely the north central United States, I think, is definitely a larger risk, especially for tornadoes. We're going to be watching for that very, very closely. By the time we're reaching about 6 a.m. or so on Thursday, you can see these storms are still around overnight tonight. We see from Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, and even up through Michigan as well. We do have a lot of that precipitation ongoing for these regions. Now, by the time we're reaching about 2 a.m. on Friday, there is still some storminess around. So we're talking 2 days from now, and there is still some storminess ongoing for a lot of these regions. So this is going to be kind of a long-lived storm. Uh, and I wouldn't call it a major severe weather event, but more of a moderate severe weather event because it's right there in that middle range. It has an enhanced risk, which is right in the middle. So it is a pretty moderate severe weather event, and oftentimes these enhanced risks can be a lot worse than you'd think. Now, I might go live later today. I'm contemplating it. I have a busy schedule this week actually, but I'm gonna try to hop on for a little bit for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. It has been months since we've gone live, and I just think I ought to do it more often. Let's move this towards about 6 a.m. there on Saturday, July 17th, and you can see finally this storm system moves out of the north central United States and more into kind of the Ohio Valley and a lot of the northeast as well, where this is going to become a lot more widespread rainfall instead of just thunderstorms, and potentially bring some flooding, as you've seen on the thumbnail, for a lot of these southeastern states. And even by the time we're reaching about 3 p.m. on Sunday here, there is still a lot of rainfall going on for the southeastern and the mid-Atlantic and some of the northeastern United States by this point. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at the total rainfall for a lot of these regions, and then we're going to start diving into the severe weather threat with this storm system. All right, now here we are taking a look at that total rainfall for the southeastern, the northeastern, the mid-Atlantic, and even the Ohio Valley regions of the United States. And as you can see, generally anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rainfall, maybe even more, can be expected over the next 10 days, which is obviously quite a considerable amount, especially once you move over the 2-inch, 3-inch amounts and you move more into that range. That is when things can really get interesting, especially with these 4 or 5-inch amounts as well, up there for a lot of the northeastern United States. We are definitely needing to watch a lot of this, because yesterday I talked about it as well. There is some areas that are more susceptible to flooding than others, and that is especially where we're going to want to be on the lookout for that flooding risk with this rainfall event, because this storm is just going to linger. You watched it. I mean, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's hardly moving. It's just raining over the same exact regions. So that is definitely something we're going to need to watch for. It's these stagnant storms that can be the most impactful, just because of obviously them not really moving around too much whatsoever. Obviously, they can be very, very impactful. We will be watching for some severe weather in a lot of these regions as well, so that'll be something we're going to want to pay attention to, but nothing like today. I don't think we're going to be dealing with any enhanced risks for the rest of this week, which is definitely very good news. But that flooding risk is certainly going to be in place with these 2, 3, 4, 5, and even 6-inch amounts that are possible here in the eastern half of the country. All right. Now let's take a look here at that severe weather risk, and this is our categorical outlook. And remember, I said the Northeast and the North Central United States could be dealing with some severe weather, and that is certainly the case. We have a marginal risk of severe weather there for New England and even down through the Mid-Atlantic, and then we have a marginal risk there for the upper Midwest and portions of the Great Lakes as well. There is a slight risk there for New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and then there's also a slight risk there for Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois. And then we even have an enhanced risk there in Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin as well. So there is a lot of things going on here. Definitely that enhanced risk area we're going to want to watch very, very closely, but definitely the two slight risk regions as well, and even the marginal risk and the general thunderstorm risks, where even there, some major severe weather can take place. They're not perfect, obviously. They're only human over there at the Storm Prediction Center, so there is always a possibility that things can happen outside of the major severe weather areas that are definitely life-threatening. So we're going to be watching all of these regions for potential impacts with this severe weather event throughout the day today. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at the individual threats, the wind outlook, the hail outlook, the tornado outlook, and then we're going to start talking about the Cape and even possibly the shear there according to the models as well. All right, now here we are taking a look here at the wind outlook, and as you can see, we have pretty high probabilities of damaging wind actually with this one. That is probably the highest probability. It is actually the highest probability of any of the threats here. And as you can see, we have a 5% chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given location in both of those green regions there. And then in those two yellow regions, we have a 15% chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given location. And then there within that red, we have a 30% chance of damaging wind within 25 miles of a given location. So for Iowa, Minnesota, and even southern Wisconsin as well, we do have that 30% chance of damaging wind, which is obviously more towards the moderate side of things like I mentioned before. Day one hail outlook is a little bit less likely, but we do have a 5% chance within 25 miles of a given location there within the green, and then a 15% chance there in the yellow. So there is a threat of hail, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of hail throughout the day today. And then the day one tornado outlook, we have a 2% chance within 25 miles of a given location of a tornado occurring there within the green, and then a 5% chance there within the brown region. All right, now here is our Cape, and as you can see, anywhere in the greens is about 1,000 to maybe 1,500. The yellows are about 1,500 to maybe 2,000, 2,500, something like that. And then the reds is around 3,000 plus. So already, this is as of, this very, very early this morning, or if not last night, we had a lot of Cape around already for Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas. This kind of dies down a little bit as we're heading towards about 10 a.m. this morning. We can see some yellows and some greens up there for our upper Midwest regions and also our northeastern regions. But certainly things peak this afternoon / evening. We see reds there for Iowa, Illinois, even Kansas there. Or sorry, that's Nebraska actually. Obviously those two are pretty easy to get mixed up. Nebraska, we see the reds showing up, which again is 3,000 Cape. We're looking for 1,000 plus usually, so to see 3,000 is 3 times the amount you actually need. By the way, CAPE stands for Convective Available Potential Energy, and I consider that to be thunderstorm fuel because they basically use it up like fuel. They use it, they intensify, and it kind of dissipates because the storms are literally actually using it, and it is getting consumed, basically. Now, our shear is actually going to be pretty high for both regions, so I am watching this situation pretty closely as well. We can see there in Iowa and Minnesota and Wisconsin, there's a considerable amount of shear here, and then also for the northeastern corner of the United States as well, we're watching for this threat, as we do have a considerable amount up there as well, in my opinion. For today's confidence tab, we're at a 5 out of 6. We did talk about some longer range things, but overall, I'm pretty confident in most of the things we discussed today. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, do you think we're going to have a moderate risk for the rest of this year, or do you think we're going to have to wait till next year? And James Marr said, I believe we will have to wait until next spring for more moderate severe weather. And I think that could be the case for sure. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, John Benbenick, James Wade, Dovi Nagel, Lila Pan, and Donna Carnes. alongside our Diamond patrons Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Cotalessa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Flago, Gary's, John Coolisi, Dwight Phelan, and Steven Crenenthal. If you would like to be a part of this Patreon screen of the day, you can do so by joining our very awesome Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. I would also like to thank our channel members Hairfirms1 and Catbite as well. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button and be sure to leave a comment down below because those two things help out the channel so much. We just hit 150,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough. We've been sitting at 149,000 subscribers for so long, it feels like, and we finally hit that 150,000 subscriber mark. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to subscribe if you like weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.